Thanks, guys. Welcome into our Iowa baseball pregame show. Once again, I'm Mary Kate Harrian, and with me is the voice of Hawkeye baseball, Zach Mackey. Zach, we recently saw some decently warm weather during that midweek game on Wednesday, and now we're back to the cold, especially coming up to this series playing against Nebraska.
It's unfortunate we're going to 60-degree temperature, which is nice, but yet sometimes in this springtime you're going to see even something hotter, and now we're going back to that cold, like you said. And it's so different to have to play baseball in that 30-degree weather whenever you're trying to keep the guys warm out there, or whenever you're playing in the heat like you hopefully are at the end of the season.
Well, the Hawks, like we just said, finally got a little bit of that warm weather as they took on Coe College on Wednesday night and completely dominated. At the end of the first, Iowa was up 8-0. They came ready to play, looked really good before heading into another important weekend against Nebraska.
Well, like you said, it's so important to jump out of the gates. A team like that, make sure that you know there's a difference between the two, and Iowa did. They jumped out of the gates, got some early runs, and like they've done down the past now, they threw a whole bunch of arms out during that midweek, got a whole bunch of guys experience, but also held Coe College just to one run, which is good when you're breaking it up. It's hard to get into a rhythm, and Lorenzo had a tremendous game.
Well, like you just said, what a game out of him on Wednesday night. He hit the cycle, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, and tied the school record with 5 hits. But even in the last couple weeks, just on the field, he has come such a long way and has been making less errors. And then he had that unbelievable play that on Saturday against Ohio State that made SportsCenter's top 10.
Well, we knew that Lorenzo was going to be a really good player just coming in from his recruiting class, and yet he had too many errors, like you said, early on in the season. He's cut those down and shown that really he's been a really good defender on the other side. He's a plus defender. He's got everything it takes, a big league type arm over there, and yet he's been able to make some diving catches, like you said, and then the bat has never wavered. He's always been able to hit, and now it's really coming into fruition after the day like he had on Wednesday.
Well, here's what Coach Heller had to say on his player of the game from Wednesday night.
Man, he's been picking us up big. The last 3 weeks he's been swinging the bat really, really well, driving in big runs in pretty much every game. Was big in the Illinois series, was big in the Ohio State series, and tonight, I mean, his swing looked great. He's dialed in right now. Every ball that he hit was right on the nose, and to witness that, no matter what the circumstance, is pretty special. You don't see that very often. With the score the way it was, a bunt would have been unwritten rule. It wouldn't have been right. And I seen Lorenzo look at the third baseman, and he was playing about 20 feet behind the bag, and I'm like, oh, guys, don't bunt, And then I heard one of the co-players go, if it was me, I would bunt right now. And then he got the hit. That's special. It's really rare. I mean, cycles are, I think, more rare than no-hitters. So.
Well, now the Hawks head to Nebraska today for a 3-game series. 2 of those games are happening today as they are scheduled for a doubleheader due to, the weather. The Cornhuskers are currently sitting at 15-16, and although they did win their midweek game, they have lost their last 3 series to Minnesota, Michigan State, and Ohio State. Iowa's coming off of 2 huge Big Ten series wins and a big midweek game win. Are you thinking we will continue to see this Iowa team this weekend and then even towards the end of the season?
Well, let's hope so. This is kind of that midway point. We're 30 games in now. What's going to happen to this second half of the season? Nebraska, though, they're a hungry team because, like you said, they're below 500 right now. They're coming off where they won the regular season Big Ten title. They had a tremendous year last year, and now they're below 500 overall. They've really dropped to the Big Ten. That series against Michigan State, the Spartans took all 3, and Michigan State was at the bottom of the conference right now. So Nebraska's coming off where they've lost 7 of their last 11 now. They're a team that always is going to play better at home. It's a hostile environment. Every time you go to Lincoln, they'll have 5,000-6,000 fans in there, and yet it's going to be an opportunity again where Coach Heller's team's going to have to step up.
Well, here's what Coach Heller had to say on continuing their strong play into this weekend.
We jumped on them early, which enabled me to play a lot of guys and get everybody in the game. We got the starters out fairly quick, which was great. They got 2 or 3 at-bats. They were out in the 4th or 5th inning. Everybody got to play. So we couldn't have drew it up any better. The only negative tonight was that we were pretty sloppy on defense. 2 errors in the first inning and then another one later on. But anyway, overall, I was just really happy with how things went tonight.
Well, that's it for us in the sports studio. First pitch today is at 2 p.m. with the second game planning to start around 6 p.m. Zach, have a great time in Nebraska.
Will do. Come back on Monday for all of your highlights from the weekend. Guys, let's send it back over to you.